So, having said all of that, you are right now. You are being escorted out of the Roma camp because you fulfill your mission, and what are you going to do?
We have to stop Ramon. How are we going to do it? It's all it boils down to. We know he's protected. We know he's protected in a number of different ways. This is more your domain, Frank, from a legal sense, but this goes beyond legal.
I think this is way beyond legal jurisdiction, and I don't think there's a court in the land that would make it stand. It's all a bit too fantastical. Just slip for my flask. And I mean, this is kind of end of the world stuff, isn't it? I mean, this is way beyond anything in any book or any kind of ruling. And yeah, I think it's kind of down to us three fellows to kind of make this come to an end, and by whatever means necessary, end it. And hopefully, by ending Ramon, we end it. I'm just worried, or my concern is that he is either A, not the top of the pile, and is just acting as a go-between for something else.
We've got no reason to suspect that, though.
Have we not? I think we're open to all sorts of possibilities at this end. I mean, is there not some sort of greater power that's controlling him? Obviously, he's getting this stuff from somewhere. I mean, this is not just the product of a wild and fevered imagination. This is coming from somewhere. So, what is the somewhere that's coming from? And if we do contact him, or say if we do take arms against him, what else are we taking arms against? Other than the goons he has with the lightning guns, what else?
And is the creature.
The creature. And where does the creature come from?
Yeah. I mean, we clearly don't know. This strange floating box thing, it seems to defy all laws of nature and of God. Could it be in some way connected? Does the box open?
No, it has absolutely no seams whatsoever. It's a
cube, or it's a
trapezoidal sort of construction, and it has no seams, no openings, no holes, no absolutely nothing. And the light it casts, it doesn't produce any shadows.
And how does it feel when we touch it, when we move it and spin it? And
as if you're touching some sort of warm ceramics. But it has no inertia. So if you push it really hard, as soon as your hands stop pushing it, it stops.
Oh, I see. Right. So, right. Yeah. So no momentum carries through.
No.
Okay. I had an image in my head of it being a box that this thing could go in and through, but apparently not. So that's good. Unless we could have used it as a box in which to capture it, or a box in reverse.
As far as you know, nope.
No way. Okay.
The world's most terrifying light bulb.
Yeah, exactly. It appears to be yet another thing that he's found and hasn't yet found a use for. So he's either yes, I take your point, Frank. He's either been gifted with these things by somebody or something, or he has discovered a source for them himself. We know that he was, in the mountains near here, mountains near Benelux, that he had some kind of base here, didn't he? Or is that just here?
That is the Monasterio del Cuervo where you were the previous day.
But he has a residence in the town, or just outside the town, doesn't he?
Just outside
No, it's right bang on in the middle. It's very close to the Plaza Alta. You know where he lives because, well, firstly, he's extremely well known, and it is very, very close to the town centre.
I would be interested to go to the planning office and see if there's any plans of the building. Maybe there's an entrance to the building that we don't know of. Maybe tunnels or some sort of egress from the kind of the shoreline.
Okay, the planning office is going to be closed now. You've just came back from the Monasterio del Cuervo. It's a fairly long, kind of trek.
We could break in though.
No
one's going to know we've been in there to have a look. If we go in asking questions,
it's entirely up to you. It's about 8 p.m. right now.
Just throwing everything. I mean, what's going on in my mind is, okay, he's doing this for power. Blah, 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 blah. There's something tickling at the back of my mind that says this is just like kind of the vanguard for an alien invasion or something. These creatures seem alien to me, like something from outer space. I mean, I've read H.G. Wells, and I'm starting to think now, is he not just kind of some sort of mouthpiece or trying to take some sort of power for something that has a lot more power than him? And even by eradicating him, is there not still something we'll have, something larger or something, infinitely more dangerous that we have to deal with? But my first course of action is obviously is to kind of forearm ourselves in terms of kind of how do we get to him. And my first thought there is maybe we go and casing the joint seems obvious. He's already on the lookout for us, I imagine. But certainly getting some kind of plans to the building might be an idea.
It's one way in. We could also take a look and see what other properties he owns. A warehouse, maybe?
Or maybe going back to his accountant. And seeing
who didn't seem essentially that helpful, did he? He was very. His daughter had been murdered, and we assume he knows who had done it. Really, so I find him a difficult person to engage with at that level. I mean, putting aside your quite frankly ludicrous theory about aliens and other entities and everything else, I'm going to give that very short thrift, I'm afraid. I think finding out whether or not he has other properties, particularly a warehouse or anything else, would be eminently sensible. And planning office.
The other lead we do have is the photographers as well.
We definitely need to get those films developed, don't we?
How very interesting. Not only that is obviously to kind of we have to go there to kind of, do we pass on the news of the recently deceased, or
what proof do we have?
Other than the stains on the monastery wall, nothing.
Then there's nothing to report right now.
Or maybe go to them to talk about.
We can make amends to them and their family and to God later. Right now, we need to act. We need to act quickly. He's going to find out soon.
Those are my two leads anyway. That's the two options I've kind of been mulling since we were discussing things on the way back in the car. How
can we get the photographs developed quickly?
So I
suppose your friend in the police station, your friendly assistant or whatever she is, happens to also be the photo developer for the police force, does she? That would be a remarkable coincidence.
I don't think it is, but certainly we can kind of call them on a quick job if that's the case. If we need to get them developed quickly, that's probably the best way to do it, rather than going for any kind of civilians. The only thing that bothers me with this is obviously he's had a very close relationship with my head, my boss. And I'm worried how much that we do within the building might get passed on. The other thing being is obviously they there's an opportunity within the building for him to kind of conjure the alien creature as well.
We also
maybe I'm being overly paranoid at this point, but I certainly kind of maybe.
Yeah, we also have to be prepared to use those guns. I'm not prepared right now to use them against people. Against the creature, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, then let's go to the police station. Let's get the photographs developed, and we will see, because it is better to do something than to simply sit here and discuss and do nothing.
Agreed.
Plus, we can call it in overnight as well, and then we can have some time to go and see the rest of the bits and pieces in the morning.
See?
Okay, you head to the police station, and your assistant is actually not there. It's already fairly late, and her shift ended a little while ago. You find the sergeant who is on guard, and he's kind of smoking a fag and not particularly caring too much about it, about anything. And so, what are you doing here?
I've got some late work. I'm going to have to make a few phone calls. Are you okay to keep the desk while I go to the back office and make some calls?
Yeah, whatever. We'll go.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. Work here.
My friends will be joining me, if you don't mind. Go on then. Let's go to my office, and I'll see if I can make some calls.
Yeah, you get to the office. The building is pretty much empty.
So the first call I will make is to the person who deals with photography for evidence and things like that.
Well, whilst you're doing that, you say the office is pretty much empty. Does that include the chief's office?
Yes.
I might just take a wander over and have a look at his desk and stuff.
It's an office.
He'd have his own kind of,
there's plenty of papers, and it's quite posh, with a leather seat and a few books.
Like his phone book.
No, his phone book is not on site.
Has he got a filing cabinet?
Yep.
Have a look in the filing cabinet, see if he's got any files on Ramon Gonzalez.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay. I will have a general if there's nobody around, I'm just going to keep piling through, referencing all the names, Dr. Lundgren, us. So see if he's got a file on Martin, see if he's got a file on me, and various other names, whilst Frank's doing the important stuff.
Nothing. It looks like you are completely off the radar for him.
Okay.
Which is good.
Maybe it's me being paranoid, but he's just a bit of a spiteful potato, that's all. I just don't trust the guy.
And Martin is going to, with great reluctance and an extreme amount of care, like he's handling, sweaty dynamite, take a look at those guns and see how they operate without setting one off and disintegrating himself.
You take the gun into your hand, and it is surprisingly warm to the touch, and it feels like it's velvet, even though looking at the material, it's clearly metallic. But it feels sort of alive. It's really strange and bizarre. And you have the pommel that you can hold it from, but it is very obvious that your hand cannot really reach everywhere. You get to see several contacts that your fingers could touch if you put them in the right places. But it would be a very uncomfortable gun to hold. Very, very uncomfortable.
It's already uncomfortable.
Quick question. Does it look like it was made for a different type of, sounds odd, but different type of biology? Like,
You would expect that you would need to have longer fingers and perhaps a couple fingers extra to be able to hold it comfortably.
Aliens.
Fingers, tentacles, they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So, Inspector, there is absolutely no way in the police station to process your photographs.
But who do we normally use to process evidential photographs?
You would use the studio.
We would use the studio.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I reach anyone at the studio?
You haven't been there. Go and
No.
find out.
I mean, call. Phone.
No.
No. Okay.
Only because the studio doesn't have a phone. We're talking 1920s in southern Spain, so phones are a fairly rare commodity. Not everybody does have them.
My geological point of reference isn't as good. Maybe I'm used to it in the big city.
Yes, I mean it's things like cars, telephones, ovens, and definitely fridges.
Would I know where? Well, I'm assuming I would know where they live then.
Oh yeah, they're in the center.
That's it. I'm at the office. We're going to their house.
Well, surprisingly,
Yeah.
they live in the same building where Ramon lives.
Oh.
I love that. Oh,
Damn it.
Do they have a? Does anyone know how to develop photos?
I'm going to say no.
Maybe we could use the newspaper. They might develop their own photos.
Have you got a contact there?
Well, we still have the number in that, don't we? I did take it when we talked to them the last time.
But yes, you would have contacts in there. I mean, it's a small town. You especially you, Father Rodrigo, you would know pretty much everybody.
So, maybe we give them a call and see if they can pull us a solid.
Absolutely, let's try it.
Developed by them rather than someone connected to the police force.
Yeah. Try it.
Yeah, that sounds like a much better idea. So this could work in our benefit. I think this is a bit of kind of karmic resonance here. So that's what we'll do then. I'm going to take a wander down to the person who runs the newspaper's house,
Okay.
and see if we can entreat them to kind of do us a favor, do us a solid.
Okay. You head towards the studio, the newspaper, and you find there Eloisa. I'm going to pass you the photograph of Eloisa through the Discord channel, so you know exactly what she looks like. And there she goes. She looks like that.
Oh,
The viewers are already saying her. She's a very lithe, small woman. She's about mid-60, give or take. And she has been the graphic designer for the newspaper for a very, very long time. The paper is called the Lábaro Hispano, which is actually a real newspaper that was at the time in Algeciras. Oh, hey. Oh, Father.
take off the hat.
Hi. Well, can I help you?
I hope you can. We have some film that we need developing,
Oh, okay.
and we're wondering.
Yes,
who
absolutely.
does that?
Yes, sure. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can do that.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so bored. I just want to do anything. So yeah, definitely.
Can we come into the? You show us how you do it. I'd love to learn.
Oh, but,
Father, quick.
okay.
Before we the one thing that I must mention before we go ahead and develop this film is that we do not know what is on it, and what is on it could be of a slightly disturbing nature.
Which is why I want to be there when she's doing it. So
So I just, as caveat to this,
Excuse
I
me.
do
Stop.
want to warn you.
Stop. Journalist, newspaper. People need to know the truth. Hello? Keeping secrets? Me? What?
No. It's not so much the secrets. It's the fact that
What?
Maybe disturbing content.
So
There could be potentially disturbing content in there.
And what kind of disturbing content are we talking about? I mean, what
Well,
can be more disturbing than
Murder.
Okay, now
Yeah.
you've got my attention. Who are you, by the way? Hi, I'm Eloisa. Nice to meet you. Who are you?
Martin Carrasco.
Oh, hi, Martin. Very nice to meet you too. Anyway, and you're from the police, right? I mean, I've seen your face somewhere, but I don't really place
Yeah, everyone
you.
just calls me Frank. Call me Frank. It's fine.
Frank. Okay, Frank.
Well,
Frank's good. Frank's good. Okay. Okay. So murder. Tell me more. This is exciting. Tell me. I'm going to
No.
be writing about murder. This is
Louisa,
exciting.
no. Until we've seen what's on that film, we're not sharing anything with you. We cannot.
Oh,
You understand?
Because we don't know.
Oh, you'll be mysterious.
No, we don't know what's on the film.
Yeah, but you know where you
But-
got the camera. After that camera, where did you get it from?
It's not our camera.
It's not our camera.
I can imagine that
and this
camera
is-
rings a bell.
Part of the reason.
Louisa, pronto. Come on, let's go develop this film.
Ah,
Then we can talk.
man. So anyway, she drags you,
Don't be rude.
towards the.
Yeah, pronto's a bit. It's very close to jeldy, and that's not good.
She
He's
takes
asking
you.
for his gin wallet next.
Okay, the lab, you cannot fit all of you, is a very small little room with just a counter where you can see a few, it's like a galley with two counters either side. One of them has 3 containers with some chemicals, and then the other container is like an enlarger.
I've been in a dark room before. I know it's very sweaty and soapy and chemically.
Yeah.
What I will do, as I'm the member of the law, is I will stay outside just in case we have any interlopers coming snooping around, and I'll be there to kind of confront them. So if Martin and my venerable friend wants to go into the dark room, then they can do so.
Since you're separated, and I don't want this question to preempt you into believing that anything is going to happen, because it may or may not happen, but you are 3 and you have 2 vials of that elixir that you were given. Who's got them?
Not me.
Okay.
Simply on the grounds that if it came to a fight, I'd probably be the least capable.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that drops it right in my lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a bag full of guns and a bazooka. So it's like,
Okay, so you're in the dark room, and she closes the door behind you. So, Father, you are inside, and Martin, you kind of are like that, trying to fit in.
Squashed up in the corner.
She
and I'm
turns,
sat outside the door on a chair.
yeah, okay. So she turns on a candle, and she lights up a candle, and puts a little hood on it, which is made of some sort of red translucent material, some sort of plastic. So you can barely see anything. It's the faintest light. She takes the 2 cases and takes it out, and masterfully she puts them inside the one of the chemicals and starts to turn it around and turn it around and turn it around and turn it around. She starts to explain how the whole thing works and how the chemical is reacting with the silver halide, and that after the light has exposed, it fixated some of the grayscale depending on how much light is falling onto what. She's giving you an absolutely erudite explanation of how photography worked to levels of chemistry that you didn't know it existed. And then she takes them after that and puts them in. Well, this is some sort of acid as well, and it fixates everything, so it stops the whole thing from degrading when you do this blah 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 blah. And this is just some water to make sure that everything is clear, and because the chemicals will degrade and then it will shrink and it leaves a little line scale on the thing. And then she takes it out and hangs it. And now we wait. And takes
And
off
how
the
long to,
and takes off the little hood. Oh no, we don't wait much. Oh no, we don't have to wait much. Don't you worry. That's absolutely fine. Just have to dry a little bit. And about 2 seconds. See, that's it. And puts the negative and says, "Oh, that's a wedding." I thought you were talking murder. What?
We
Whose
did say
wedding
we
is
did
it?
not know what was on the film.
So where's the murder? Where's my story?
We don't know yet, Louisa. Wait, whose wedding is it? Can we see? Can we make any faces out?
No. She said, okay, give me a second. She puts the whole thing in the amplifier, turns the light on, and says, look, you see, this is how photographs are done now, because you put the same kind of paper that you have here, and then you put it on there, and then you put it, you expose with some light, and depending on the amount of light, and say, oh, this is going to be about, I think about 5 seconds. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, thanks. 6. Puts it back into the developer chemical and does the same thing, and put it in the fixer, does the same thing, and put it into the wash and does the same thing. I said, okay. Oh, that's a nice picture. Oh, ew, that child. Who dresses children like that anymore? Yeah. Anyway, this is it. And it's a photo of a standard wedding. Nothing weird about it.
Okay, so it's not any of. Okay, I want to check it wasn't Ramon marrying somebody that, like our nun, ex-nun.
So anyway,
Okay.
she said, okay, come on, it's very hot here. Get out.
I thought there were 2 cartridges though. She only felt one.
Oh, come on, look at the other one as well. Same thing. It's just a wedding photograph.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, I think you owe me an explanation, the 3 of you.
Don't think so.
I just did you a bloody favour.
I know, and I owe you one, Louisa. We all do.
Well, then pay me back.
Well,
and tell
we
me
don't have a
what's
story for
going
you.
on.
Can we have a little quick conflab, please?
Yeah, of course.
Without you, Louisa, I think he means.
Uno momento, por favor.
And she goes.
Thinking security here. Anything happens to us, the story dies with us. Maybe if we could put something in a docket that goes somewhere, or I put my notes that I've taken so far and leave it with someone, that in the event that we pass or something happens to us, that the information doesn't die with us.
We send them, in which case I would suggest we send them to the Mother Superior at Santa Cecilia.
Oh, God, no, not that awful woman, no. No, I mean, I no. I'd be happier giving it to the gypsies than...
We have no way of posting it to them.
No. But... I don't want... I'm just thinking if...
She wouldn't know.
Have access to telegrams, they can get it across the country, is what I'm thinking.
That's a lot of stuff to put in a telegram.
And it's
Yeah,
also,
well, I'm saying
in the
we-
telegram, it's insecure. People can read telegrams. You would write it in a letter.
All I have to do
Wait,
is put my
wait, Frank. You would write it in a letter, seal it in the
Mm.
letter, seal the letter, send it to somebody with a covering letter saying you only open this under these circumstances. Who is going to obey that more than a Mother Superior? She doesn't need to open it. You can give her instructions about who to then pass it to.
I don't think she's the best person to send it to be honest with you.
I haven't got anybody else. That's all. And we have to, if we're going to do it, we need to do it now. We haven't got time.
Right.
You have a better suggestion?
I'm going to put my notebook in an envelope and I'm going to address it to my friend, the other police officer in the other city.
When are you going to do that? Because it's about 10 p.m. already.
I'm literally going to do it now. They must have stationery in the office and leave it with her to post.
Okay.
You know, fellows, we're leaving something completely obvious out here.
Share.
Whose house are we in? No, we're not. We went to the independent newspaper. We didn't go to the developers. Didn't
Hold on, we're at Paco, are we at the office or are we at Luisa's house?
No. You're at the office. You are the.
Okay, well the office. It's right here. We're in the newspaper.
I don't trust the newspaper. They will reveal the information way before we want them to. And we haven't got any useful information at this stage.
At which point Martin opens his jacket and very carefully, Paco, takes out that god-awful looking lightning pistol.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean we have no evidence? We have the letters, we have the blueprints, we have these terrible things.
And we have the photograph of him with the German fella.
And we also have the FBI wanting to claim these weapons. We have him wanting to claim these weapons. What makes you think the government are going to do anything different? They're going to want them. These have got to be, at some point soon, destroyed.
I agree.
You can't allow these to get into anybody's hands. There's too many people that will use them for the wrong ends. Everybody in power will use them for the wrong means.
Yes. This handgun alone makes the machine gun, the Flammenwerfer, the tank, aerial bombardment look like children's toys.
Exactly. So they need destroying. Reporting it to the newspaper isn't going to serve any good. It may get published. People will laugh at it. It's too ridiculous. It's too.
We owe Louisa the truth.
Why?
We don't just use people and throw them away.
Who's using them and throwing them away? She developed some photographs for us.
Yes.
I'll pay her.
I say, should we have a vote on this?
Vote away.
I am not saying do not hand the information to someone else beside Louisa, but the more people that know if we disappear, if we suddenly become a black stain on a wall, if we are found in pieces, at least there might be some justice.
I mean, it's the fate of the whole of Spain we're thinking about here, if not further afield than that.
If these weapons get into the hands of a government, it's the world. This is...
I mean, imagine if you got into the hands of those awful German nationalist people in Berlin.
But exactly. That's exactly. So what good do you think telling Louisa in some local newspaper will do?
At least someone will know.
Even if she was capable of publishing it, it would get laughed at by everybody else. Nobody would believe it.
It's better to have a rope on the branch than no rope at all.
And if we are gone, then perhaps she can take up the torch later.
And I can give her the name and some context.
So you want more people to know about it?
Rodrigo, no.
Yes.
In which case, you do what you want to do. I will be writing a letter to the Mother Superior.
Yeah, do that. The more webs we throw out,
I'm doing it now.
The better than that. Okay, well, I'm going to go and give her my notebook now. And that's what I do.
Okay.
And I'll give her a list of names of people she can contact if anything happens to us.
To Elisa.
Yes.
She's like, oh my God. I mean, but how will I know if something's happened to you?
If we suddenly disappear.
But how will I know if you disappear? I don't know you. Hello.
I will call you.
If you disappear.
No. If I
If I disappear, I'll ring you and tell you.
Most evenings at 7. If you do not receive a call, then something's happened to me.
At 7 o'clock.
Yep.
In the morning.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
When I wake up.
Okay.
That'll be the first thing I do.
And on the next day?
And until such times as I say I no longer need to call you.
Okay. But what happens if something happens to you at 7 p.m.? How will I know? Because it's 24 hours, and many things can happen in 24 hours when you know.
Okay, then maybe we think of a slightly better way.
Why? I tell you what. I have an idea.
What?
I go with you.
Hell no.
Eh?
Louisa,
You're our safety. You're our safety valve. If you go with us
Yeah.
and something happens to you, it's going to blows everything out the water. doesn't it?
No, but that's different. That's different. That's very different. Because if I don't come to work, like anytime, then my editor is going to be thinking, where is she? And then she's going to come to my home because he's got my keys. And then he can come in, and then there will be something like, oh my God, she's not here. And then she'll go to the police, and then it will be like, oh my God, yeah, she's disappeared. And then it will be like, oh
Yeah,
my
but
God.
it would be so
Then they
much
will know
easier if you
immediately.
just
Because I'm here all the time. So if I'm not here, then that's dangerous. See, I am. That's the thing. And we can leave this thing in my desk, which is closed, and no one will open unless something happens to me. So I can go with you. Yes?
no. No.
Mm.
As much as your enthusiasm really kind of makes me think maybe you should, it's just not going to work.
But at least tell me what's happening.
that's very difficult to explain.
I'm
But
fine. But tell me what's happening. I'm bored of the thing here.
something that threatens at least
Uh-huh.
all of Spain and possibly the world.
Like what? I mean, the world. I mean,
He reaches into his jacket, and again, there's that god awful. Yeah, I see. I feel your nod look there, Simon. This.
My letter's getting longer and longer and longer to the Mother Superior.
Was it please save me from these Gentiles?
A little bit of that.
she looks at the can and said, "Oh, where did you get that?"
From some very bad men that were building more of them.
More of them? I thought only Ramon's goons had them. Sorry.
You know.
I am a journalist.
I don't know what it is beyond the weapon. It shoots electricity. May I show you something?
Yeah.
And that's when Martin stands up and he takes off his jacket and he takes off his overshirt and then his undershirt and shows her those burns from the lightning weapon.
She opens her eyes more than you thought it was humanly possible. I thought, that is fascinating.
It's also extremely painful, and if it had hit me dead on, we found what was left of the people. Please, they're very sore. We found what was left of the people that got hit directly. They are nothing but shadows on a wall now. Ash, blasted into stone.
Oh.
You
my-
understand? I was in the war. I saw machine guns. I saw poison gas. I saw the tanks. I saw the Flammenwerfer, and so forth. The horrors. You
Mhm.
cannot imagine.
No, I can't. I'm sure I can't. But anyway, about this
And-
gun.
And then he gets dressed again, having made his little demonstration there.
So you can see how important this is.
And Ramon is behind all this. Don't say very loud.
He is at least stockpiling these, and he had a man who is building more.
We must stop him.
Yes, and that is why it is important that you remain as a witness.
I will be a witness. I will be right behind you.
He has other resources.
Like what? I mean, I know he's got his men. I know he's got resources. Come on,
No, not men.
look.
Did this look like something that a man could manufacture? It is not of this earth. We don't know where it comes from, but it is not of this earth.
Oh, I know.
And he has many of them and worse.
Shall we describe or kind of? Did you hear about the incident at the convent?
Yes, of course I did. Who hasn't?
And did you hear about the incident at the police station?
No.
Okay.
What
So
incident?
that list
In
that
what
was
police
kept.
station?
There is There is an awful lot we've not told you. Although we've told you an awful lot, there is an awful lot we haven't told you. Sorry, I'm getting PTSD because obviously this is where I lost my dice roll, isn't it? And I blacked out. Martin, you know what I'm kind of getting at, don't you?
See,
Yeah.
a man that was involved. Wasn't he also a reporter?
He was a
Paco?
journalist. Yeah.
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 And I don't recall his name.
Oh,
Do you know name of that guy?
Oh, yeah. Of course I did. My
He's
colleague.
dead.
What the... what?
We saw it. He was... A few days ago, he was at the funeral.
But, I mean, we haven't seen him for a few days, but we thought that he was...
He was...
We haven't been told anything.
Then that means that someone is covering it up because he was torn apart.
You might want to sit down at this point. And I hand her a glass of water or drink, whatever's available. Or actually, I'll give her my hip flask.
No, thanks. That's okay. I don't need any of that.
He
Tell me what's going on.
he was arrested at the funeral.
Okay.
And
why
we went
would he be arrested at the funeral? I mean,
he was raving about Ramon.
See.
He was arrested at the funeral. He was taken to the station.
Okay.
And then, after an hour or two, we went to the station to speak to him. And as we opened the door to the cell, he was being eviscerated, is the only way I can use it, by some sort of... well,
thing. It was a thing, and I cannot describe it. We call it the Hound.
Yeah.
Because it works for Ramon. Look at my face.
Louisa.
Look into my eyes and tell me that I am lying.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Louisa, was he investigating Ramon?
Yeah, that's something that we told him many times to do it because, you know, Ramon is dangerous. But he went on and on. And all because of a woman. Because men, when you find a woman, there you go. You just like, annoying.
He was torn apart. I saw it. I saw the creature face to face, and for some reason,
Well, that's
it
terrible news.
left.
I mean, he was an idiot, but he was our idiot.
Yes, and Ramon murdered him
Well,
with this thing.
that gives me more of a reason we must avenge him.
See, but we need you to stay behind because we can trust you if we
And
disappear.
Louisa, let me point something out to you. You said if you disappear, your editor will notice and he will investigate. And yet your colleague that we've just been talking about has been missing for several days.
Oh, because he goes all over the place to, you know, take a look at things that are happening in different towns. You know, he spent a whole week in Tarifa just a few weeks ago to document all the fanfares and everything that was going on. That's kind of normal. But me, I just go from work to here, from here to work, from work to here, from here to work. One day I go to mass and then come back to here, from here to work. And I can make a song with that. Well,
I'm more interested in knowing what he'd found out already. Where's his desk?
there.
Okay, rummage through his desk.
Go. You don't find, I mean, you find an awful lot of files about Ramon, but they're mostly to do with his businesses and how suddenly, from not being able to get a contract in the dockyard, he gets the document in the dockyard, and that's some references to people who disappeared that were competition. So you can tell that the guy was onto Ramon, but absolutely nothing in there is outside of the realm of, you know, the standard crimes that you would expect at the time.
But knowing what we know,
yeah.
Are we not able to piece together anything that points to a particular location or a particular contact that he might not have picked up on, but that we will?
No.
You know, that sounds like a flashlight's roll.
No, actually, I don't. It's okay. I'd rather not, because you cannot fail this. The only thing that you that you find is a bit weird is that he mentions several times in some of the notes how Ramon, before somebody disappears, he takes the car and drives out of town, but he's never been able to follow.
Takes his own car and drives out of town.
Yes.
Which way?
Where does the Ramon go?
Out of town. He doesn't know because he's never been able to follow. He didn't have a car. A car is an expensive commodity, and he didn't have one. So he saw Ramon, going out, and this is something that he's pieced together. So it may not be true at all. It's just something that he's pieced together, that every time that there's been somebody disappeared, Ramon's gone out of town in his car.
Well, if he drives, does he drive out at his estate on a fairly regular basis?
No, not particularly. I mean, not that you have in these notes. These notes are just pertaining to the people who disappeared and to his investigation. So it may or may not happen at other times, but this is just pertaining to this particular investigation.
I wonder if he's going somewhere to perform some sort of ritual or something. Some sort of communication with these aliens. This is really bad. I've got desperate at this point. I'm thinking a landmine in front of his gate.
Eloisa looks at you and says, "What are you talking about? Listen. We are all very tired. This is super exciting. So why don't you give me your information? I will take it to my home, and tomorrow morning we can have a cup of coffee and talk about this like adults."
No, Louisa. It's too dangerous.
See, the thing is, it's actually in your best interest that I go with you.
Why?
Because how else are you going to make sure that I am not going to say anything to anyone?
Are you blackmailing us?
Oh, that's such an ugly word.
But a very simple question.
Oh, no.
It is an arrestable offence, I have to say.
No, of course I am not blackmailing you, not at all. I'm just pointing out a myriad possibilities that may or may not happen if I don't go with you. That's all.
Why are you so desperate to come with us into
I'm
certain danger?
bored. I want to be part of a big story. I want to do something interesting.
Better to be bored and alive than dead.
In pieces.
No, we're going to die.
Eviscerated.
Oh, come on. People, seriously.
How many blast shadows were there, Paco?
How many what?
Blast shadows were there up at the monastery?
Oh, a fair amount.
Martin is going to count them off. Dead, 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 dead,
Yeah,
dead,
but you've
dead,
got
dead,
rid of that.
dead.
I know, that's fine. Don't worry, that's fine. It's better dead than bored anyway.
Who would have thought telling a journalist about all of this would have got us into this situation?
I think to a point, maybe another set of eyes wouldn't be such a bad idea, but if shit goes sideways, you're out. Is that understood? I'm not going to have your death on my conscience.
And we are probably going to be doing a number of things that are not precisely legal to possibly highly illegal. And if you report us doing those, then we all go to prison, assuming we survive.
Oh, please, you sweet, innocent child.
Martin just gives her a look, calling him a sweet, innocent child.
She looks back at you like that and says, "Why on earth do you have to believe that you people have the whole gamut of things that anybody could ever do? I have been a journalist here for 5 years, and you have no idea the things I've seen. And I cannot talk about because my editor will let me talk about anything."
And I was in the trenches, and this is a fucking war.
Of course. You can tell that she is the impression that you're getting from her is that she kind of never lost her 16-year-old curiosity, that she is seriously trying to make an impact and tell an interesting story, and that she has a lot of things that she's not telling you either. It's not normal that she's behaving in such a cool way, seeing everything and hearing everything that you're telling her.
What do you know? What are you not telling us? I know you're not telling us.
Oh, I'm not
What
telling-
are you not telling us
Oh, I'm not going to tell you anything.
about this?
About what?
What, do you expect me to threaten you?
What do you want to know? But be clear, for goodness.
What are you not telling us?
About what?
If we told anyone else about this,
Uh-huh.
anyone,
Mhm.
they would either not believe us at all,
Mhm.
despite the evidence,
Mhm.
or they would be curled up in the corner crying. How are you handling this so calmly? That is not normal.
I am not normal.
Then what do you know?
About what?
About the strange doings you're not telling about us.
Which one
huh?
of the strange tellings? Do you think that this is
All
the
of
only
them.
strange telling? I mean, come on. Oh my God. Am I going to have to take you to Anselmo? Have you met Anselmo? Have you been there once? You haven't. Of course you haven't. Oh my God.
Anselmo the bookseller. Hmm?
Yeah. Oh, you know him.
Oh, the one with the very interesting backstock.
That's the one. You see, there are more things happening here than you know. Oh.
But we've been to
We
Alzheimer.
And what it boils down to is we have to stop Ramon.
I know. That's why I'm going with
And
you.
whoever else is backing Ramon, these weapons, what he has done,
Mhm.
I cannot go unanswered, and he is beyond the law.
I know. Listen, just give me the info you want me to put in my home. I'm going home, and tomorrow we're getting together. Jesus. Sorry, Father.
Right. Well, this is my fault. So I accept responsibility. I will meet with you for coffee tomorrow morning. I cannot say the same for my friends.
Oh, they'll come.
You,
Don't you, Father? Won't you, Father? Yes, you will, Father. Of course, Father. Otherwise, I'll go to your church, Father. Shall I go to your church and find you there, Father? Yes.
please.
What?
You speak so much and say nothing.
That's-
Look,
That's rude.
I am. You think? I will meet you for coffee tomorrow.
Okay, good.
Whether Martin and the father turn up
Uh-huh.
is entirely up to them.
Oh, they will tell them.
You are my responsibility now.
Okay, Dad. Shall I call you Dad from now on, then? I am nobody's responsibility, mate. I am my own woman. Thank you very much indeed.
If you intend to join us in this endeavor, then you become my responsibility. Is that understood? Is that understood?
Can you become my responsibility too? Because, it would be unfair. Okay, you'll be my responsibility too. We are each other's responsibility, Dad. Okay, fine, good.
That's the deal.
Okay.
So if I say, now's the time to stop,
Sworn.
now's the time to make yourself safe, then that's understood.
Pinky promise.
Pinky promise.
Okay, pinky promise.
Okay, well, I will see you 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for coffee.
Is that what you meant by that? That's got a whole different meaning in this country.
That was a pinky promise, not an indictment on my manhood.
I couldn't help myself. Okay, so
As-
what info did you give her?
I'm going to give her my notebook because I'm quite a prodigious note writer. And so anything, all the names of the people and places we've been and the things we've encountered will have been in some form. The only problem being is some of it might be slightly difficult for her to work out because one, my spelling's not the best, and two, I kind of write it in kind of bullet form, note form.
Shorthand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Badly spelt shorthand. So, but yeah, I give her my police notebook with the little pencil still inside.
Okay.
The picture of Ramon and the scientist and the letter to the FBI.
That's
But
all tucked in.
none, no, zero, this many, zero blueprints or anything like that.
No bazookas.
No, definitely not the electric bazooka, because I don't want to be responsible for either her home or the local newspaper office exploding, or Rodrigo's face getting any more sour about this entire situation.
No artifacts, but she has all my paperwork.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so all of this is happening, and it's about midnight already. So you go to your respective homes. Nothing seems to happen overnight, and you wake up and it's 8 in the morning. Where are you? What are you going to do?
8. Wow, I've slept in for like 3 hours. Fisherman got to get up early.
Well, it's Deo Grazia for me because I've woken up.
I'm going to take my letter to the postmaster and get that sent to the Mother Superior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, I'll get myself ready to go for coffee.
Okay.
And I'll pick up a fresh notebook from my drawer before I go.
Okay. So you get to the cafe where you're having, very close to the center as well, where pretty much everything is. There is Eloisa. So hi, good morning. Oh my God, you're like 2 minutes late. Is that normal for the police?
I'm not late.
You're 2 minutes
I turned
late.
exactly when I meant to.
Yeah, whatever. You're late. Where are your friends?
I didn't say they would turn up, did I?
So
I
what are we
said
doing?
they would turn up. It's
Okay,
up to
whatever.
them.
What are we
Martin is going to go to the cafe. Armed. Oh my God! If he gets frisked, he is in so much trouble because he's carrying his revolver. He's carrying that weird lightning gun thing.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, we need to find out where he's going.
Okay, why don't we ask him?
Well, there's the whole lightning gun thing and his horrible monster.
Yeah, but if we tell him, then he will go wherever he goes, and then we can follow him, and because he will be all upset.
No.
I think we should tell him.
No, that's...
So what are we going to do then? Come on. Oh my God, you're so boring.
We need to find out where he's storing all of these things. These artifacts, these items, and destroy them.
Paco, just to say, I will have been watching from a distance for about 10 or 15 minutes just to make sure that she's not pulled any kind of stunt before I then join them. So you can tell me at what point I arrive.
Okay, no, you're talking about 15, 20 minutes, and no, nothing. You don't see any of Ramon goons nearby or any kind of suspicious activity anywhere.
Okay, I'll join them then just to catch up.
This is an odd question. Is there a lot of mining that goes on around this area of Spain? No mineral blasting or anything like that.
No, there are a couple of quarries, but that's all.
Yeah. And
I mean, Luisa's suggestion about having him leave in a hurry and us follow was, to be honest, what I was considering.
Smoke him out.
But it's so prone to difficulties, and we don't want to be the target that he's ultimately going to end up targeting. I don't know how else we can do it. However, at some point, one of his goons is going to go to Benaloup to check out what's going on and discover what's happened there.
We can guess at that.
That's going to happen naturally anyway.
We can guess at that. Paco, here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What were they looking like as far as supplies go? Food? I mean, I know they had the big tons of water, but what were they looking like as far as food?
when we need a resupply.
There wasn't anything leftover wise, so you reckon that they were getting their food fairly regularly, but that would coincide with the notion that they change shifts, so that maybe they're there for a couple of days, and then some other people come in, and then some they leave, so on and so forth.
So clock is definitely ticking.
Yeah.
Unless they assume that, everybody just, the good doctor had an accident with his electric bazooka and blew the whole place up. Because all that's left of the bodies, we toss the corpses into the bunker.
Anything can happen.
So.
But things have gone missing as well.
That is also true.
So I know. I think
so is the doctor.
Also, this tiny little detail of the fact that you torched the place.
Yeah, so, that could be covered up as a lab accident. We don't know. We don't know. It's best not to assume. We need to find out where he stores the artifacts. We need to then confront him.
I don't know that there is any storage of artifacts. I think all the artifacts were there. There may be others that are on their way, yes. But right now, I think we assume that they were all at the monastery, because it was the doctor that was working on them. So why would they store them anywhere else?
Anselmo had mentioned, now granted, insofar as we could trust Anselmo, which is, not at all, but he had mentioned that Ramon had gotten a hold of other artifacts. Yes, Paco?
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I missed that bit. Yeah, we do, but I don't know how we can find that out, short of following him anyway. So we've tried to find other locations that he may own where he may be storing them.
I have an idea. These things have to be moved. They get shipped in, they have to be moved, and it requires men to move them unless he's been floating them through town without us seeing it, which seems highly unlikely.
Can we not just
then you have to start asking questions of everybody, and that just raises attention and points it back to us. I think we're better off holding out until his goons come back in a panic, tell him what's going on. We then follow him, find out where he goes, and we bring it to a swift conclusion.
And hope that we can protect ourselves when he dispatches the hound.
God will protect us. Or you with a big bazooka gun.
I'm going to point out.
I'm obviously backing God in this one, but I'll hedge my bets.
Seriously, I was just thinking, would it not just be easier to kind of put some sort of a bomb in his car?
It's tricky.
Yeah, Loisa looks at you and said, you don't have to do that. I mean, you're being pretty basic here, but because the thing is, you can kill it. You know where he lives, so you can kill him if you want to. But how is that going to give you any answers?
And aren't you worried, Frank, that there's somebody else behind all of this?
Yeah.
This is
I was
journalism.
just trying to think about how to deal with the immediate danger and get him out of the picture.
I also want to know, why hasn't he been watching us? He is not.
Maybe we're not a threat. Maybe he doesn't consider us a threat.
Then we should press that advantage. Question is, it's going to be no more than a day or two before they change shifts.
Should we blow up his house then?
No. Too many innocent people there. The people that work for him. I mean, I'm going to assume, Paco, that it's fairly public knowledge that he, doesn't employ shady-looking goons to, go get him a drink or anything like that in his own house.
There is a Spanish saying, which is a broadcast secret, which basically means that it's something that everybody knows, but nobody talks about, because talking about it is kind of dangerous.
It's open secret, yeah.
I think we should wait for him to act and then follow him.
No, but why don't we just talk to him? Why would I talk to him about this whole thing?
Well, we've
What are you wanting to do, Louisa?
I want to talk to him.
Why would you do that? You know how dangerous he is.
Well, yeah, and
but she is a woman. And he does like the ladies.
How are you going to talk to him? What are you going to
About
say?
this.
I've heard that you've summoned some extra-dimensional creature that kills people, and you've developed these amazing lightning guns.
no.
I know you're a journalist, so explain to me how you're going to have the discussion.
No, but I am going to tell him, hey, my colleague who's disappeared was actually investigating you. Why?
Yes.
She's got the point.
My personal opinion is you're putting yourself at too much risk.
Hello.
I agree with that point as well.
And? Come on, you didn't think that I knew
It is
that?
her risk to take. She knows now it is her risk to take. But
We could
he
make
is
it-
more dangerous than I think even you suspect.
Okay. Drama llama. Okay. Well, you tell me. I'm giving you options, whatever.
I know, and I have to say, and kind of, we're sort of damned if we do, damned if we don't. And it's like this, it's the only real option we have at the moment.
You know, a better question to ask, one that will, pardon the pun, smoke him out. What do you have to do with the fire at the monastery?
No, the link's too tenuous there, but maybe a photo's come into our possession of you with a German scientist, or I don't know.
Louisa, so, might come back to that, Frank. But Lucy, by doing what you've suggested, I totally get that if you do it in a public enough way, Ramon won't take visible action against you. Even he's not as crazy as that. Your expectation, as I understand it, is he will then do what he's done before, disappear from the town to do whatever he's going to do, and we can follow him at that point. Correct?
See, now the pen is dropped.
Louisa, I know that, but that's still putting you at risk. That's making you the target of what he's intending. However, Louisa, sending him having the photograph or a copy of the photograph. Oh, who do we know who can make copies of photographs? Oh, yes, Louisa. Sending a copy of the photograph to him with a note saying, we have discovered this photograph. If you want to know more, come to such and such a place. No,
don't want them
no
to
signature, not signed.
Oh my God, how long have you spent in that church?
All my life.
Evidently. Why on earth do you think that he would come himself rather than send all his goons to actually get rid of whoever sent that photo?
We're not expecting him to go to the place. We're expecting him to go somewhere else to send his creature.
Okay, fine. I tell you what. Why don't I take my adoptive dad, who is so worried about my safety, with me to the casino where Ramon is usually seeing, and then we give him the photograph, the two of us, Dad, you can protect me. Is that okay? You want to do that?
That's fine.
And then Martin and you go to Ramon's place and try to follow him when he actually leaves. How about that? Is that a plan? Do you like that plan?
It's
Yes?
a plan.
It's a plan. It's something to do.
Yeah.
See.
Father, you sound
Sure.
incredibly unconvinced. For a man of faith, you are very skeptical.
I'm skeptical when it comes to human nature, yes.
Oh my God, where did you study theology?
Do not question my faith, Louisa.
Oh, no, I'm not
Is
questioning.
it the Cathedral of Hard Knocks?
Anyway, Father, you need to go out more. So, shall we do that?
See?
Yes.
It's something.
I think you are insane for exposing yourself to the risk.
Ooh.
Proceed.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. So you go to Seville, put yourself in danger, and see somebody eviscerated. You have some sort of magic cannon that suddenly could throw an X-ray somewhere, but I am insane. Hello. Pot, kettle.
I think we're way past the realms of sanity at this point. I say it's the only idea, well, the only solid idea we have currently, other than blowing him up. So
That's a woman
Yeah.
to make men do the right thing. I'm just gonna say that.
And I shot you a message on Discord there, Paco.
Pardon?
I shot you a message on Discord.
Okay. Let's look at it.
With the knowledge that, man, I am so glad that making characters in the Cthulhu hack is quick.
You just play an NPC. It's even easier.
No. That's going to be you guys on the 30th in Killzone. So I have 18 characters written up. With the knowledge that, we've got however many.
Okay.
Die.
DCC
All right.
formal.
yeah.
Okay, so during the morning, Eloisa goes to make a copy of that photograph.
Mm-hmm.
And after lunch, which is about 3:30, 4 o'clock, he goes and finds you, Francisco Martinez, Inspector, and say, okay, so shall we? And the two of you, she tells you exactly where Ramon lives. Ramon lives in a little, it's a building about 3 or 4 floors. It's very close to the city center. In fact, very close to your church, Father Rodrigo. And the bottom floor, there is a haberdashery and a bakery, very well known, both of them. The haberdashery is also a hattery, it's a hat maker. The first floor, there is a tailor and the photographers. The second floor is an apartment that is rented to a very high-ranked military man. And the third floor is where Ramon lives. There are a few cars parked on the street. You suspect that one of them will be Ramon's, but you don't know. So,
So I presume we're sat in your car, Frank. Us two are sat in your car waiting.
Yeah, because that's the one with the gubbins in the back.
so Eloisa looks at you, Frank, and says, listen, the casino.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be better if you did the talking.
To get us in.
Yeah, and whilst we're in, it's just that, let's put it this way, women are not particularly welcome to speak their minds whilst in that place.
And when has that ever bothered you?
He does have a point.
When I can be kicked out of the place without getting the answers that we need.
She also has a point.
Mm.
I feel like I am playing a referee for badminton. I got a point. I got a point.
So, photo.
Louisa, I think what we need to do is this is an uncertain situation, so we have to play it with a level of uncertainty, and we just do what feels right at the time. Okay?
Are you chickening out?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
getting out. And I'll open the door for her as well.
No. She's asking you, are you chickening out?
No, God, no.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying we're going to have to think on our feet when we're in there.
Oh, of course, yes, of course. You can think on your feet. Here's the photo.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So you see Ramon going in, as usual. He's dashing himself. This aura of snobbish confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a cretin, basically. What are you going to do?
To go up to the bar first, then. Just to have a look around the room. See who else is in the room. If there's any obvious goonage or anything like that,
No.
or anyone paying particular attention to Ramon's booth.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, there
So-
are other people because the place is quite popular, but no, I mean, there are another 6 people at the place.
Mhm. Well, here we go, Louisa. And I'll approach the booth.
And I'll be right back, fellas. I need to take a quick bio break.
Mr. Ramon, may we join you?
No. What?
I think we need to talk.
What
and I.
about? If I need to talk to you, I would talk to you, but otherwise, why?
No need to be defensive here. I have a photograph that you may be interested in.
Well, didn't you come with that annoying priest a few days ago inquiring about my ex-girlfriend?
No,
I think you did.
no, I was sat over there certainly, but I was not with the priest.
So, I'm sure you weren't. That's where you live together, of course.
Why are you so suspicious, sir? It's unlike you, a wealthy man like yourself of much power. What do you have to be suspicious about?
That's none of your business. Now about that photograph.
Oh, you're interested now, are you?
I'm not particularly interested. I just want to get it done with. Am I going to have to get you done with?
Excuse me?
Are you going to show me the photograph? Or am I going to have to ask somebody to escort you out to the premises?
No, there's no need to talk to me like that. I come here.
Photograph?
What do you think might be on this photograph that would concern you then, Ramon?
Here, why would you have anything that could possibly?
So then, why are you
concern
very
me?
interested in it now?
Because I want to get it done with. I just want you to disappear from my life and stop breathing the same air that I am breathing. Just go.
Okay. I take the photograph out and put it on the table, with my hand over the top of it.
He looks at the photograph. Looks at you. I don't suppose you're going to explain to me how you came into the possession of this photograph.
Not unless we can have a civil conversation.
Oh, we are having a civil conversation. Trust me, this is
Sit.
civil. But this is going to be a very short conversation.
Everyone's so scared of you, Ramon. Which is a shame. It is a shame. I know you're a very good negotiator. I know you've built up quite a business and a reputation for yourself. Surely you can't do that by being quite so offish to everybody all the time.
I
Not when you
choose
can do relationships.
very carefully who I am offish with.
I know. So why are you being offish with me? I have caused offence, have I?
Yes, you have. You've caused
In what way?
more than offence. You know what?
Other than being slightly egregious to you,
Uh-huh.
what is the offence I've caused?
Firstly, you brought a woman here. Secondly, you show me a photograph that you should not have, and you have the discourtesy.
Well, it's
of
a good
hiding
job
the
I did
way that
pick
you
it up
came
and hand
across.
it
Do
over.
not interrupt me when I'm talking.
Well, stop speaking over me
No.
then.
This conversation is over. He stands up. and
Well, thank you, and I'll take my photo and go. I pick the photo back up and put it in my pocket.
He leaves.
Hmm. He leaves in front of me.
Oh, aye. He just turns his back.
I'll
and
follow him
goes.
out then. I'll be following him out.
You follow him, and
Mhm.
you see how he gets. He
I
goes-
mean, I'll keep a distance, but I'm following him out the door.
well, he looks back, and he sees that you're following him.
Mhm.
So as he's approaching his home,
Mhm.
he.
Oh, I just follow him out the building. I don't follow him all the way home.
Oh, okay, fine. In that case, that's okay. You, Father, you actually see this man approaching his own, Ramon approaching his own. And he does this and calls somebody, and one of his goons appears from the portal, the gate that gives access to the building. They have a few words that you cannot hear, they're too far away. And Ramon does, and gets into a car.
Okay.
Car starts, and Ramon starts to go.
I'm not driving the car. I'm waiting for Frank to come and drive the car. So
back into the car. So
I'll clock which way he's going as clearly as I can. Did he look angry? Did he just look in a hurry?
He looked both livid.
Amazingly easy to wind up. I didn't even have to ask him any questions. Just literally had to turn up.
So as soon as I see him go far enough, I will gesticulate to Frank to get him to hurry up, because we don't want to lose him.
Oh no! I'm as soon as he's, I'm like in the car and drum. It's Tintin time,
Okay.
Are we driving off without Louisa, Frank?
No, Louisa goes into the car right away. I mean, there's no way you can go.
I don't think it's your choice, Packer. I think it's Frank's choice. It's his car.
She's probably called Shotgun.
Okay.
So I
drive.
imagine Martin's in the car as well. Then.
Yes. Let's assume his. And actually, the thing that kind of worries you, and the reason why Elisa has to go into the car, is because you see the goons approaching you. And you see 3 of them. If you leave her behind, she's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. So she gets in the car with us.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Ramon has disappeared to the left. So I am going to need you to make a couple of rolls to make sure that you can find him. So flashlights, please.
Okay. It's all right. It should be good. The kids bought me some new dice for my birthday, so
Oh, nice.
I'm hoping they're going to work. So we got flashlights. Oh yeah. So was it high or low that we need?
You need anything 1 or 2 means that there is a but.
Okay. So that's a 10 and a 9.
Okay, that'll do very, very nicely indeed.
I know these streets.
Yeah, you turn around a few times. You more or less knows where he's going, and you find him. He's about 50 meters in front of you, and I think at this point I'm going to pause so we can wait for Mark to come back. Okay, so it's about right now is about, I don't know, 4:30 or 4:15 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And has he stopped in front of us, or is he still? Or is
No,
he stopped?
he is driving, but he presses on, and he's taking you toward the countryside. Funnily enough, the beginning of the road, the path that is taking you, is as if you were just going outside town, but soon it takes off on a pretty rough path that is not very well driven, and you know exactly where you're going. Martin, you are the one who knows, and so does Eloisa. He's going toward the Garganta del Capitan, which is a place very well known. There's a small river, and that river has several gorges throughout it, and it's a very popular space for kids to go in the summer to cool down. So it's a very, everybody goes there.
Right. So where is he going to go that everybody else doesn't?
That's the thing. You don't know that because he accelerates and gets off site, and about 25 seconds later, you find his car abandoned by the side of the path.
Got his brakes.
All right.
Could you?
You want me to cut his brakes?
Could you?
You whispered that because you were only telling Martin out of my earshot, correct? Okay, good.
You roll. Could you please, all of you, roll your flashlights?
11. Thank my daughter.
Yeah, it's fine.
6.
Okay, you all can see how some leaves or the ferns that populate most of the area are moving, and you reckon that Ramon is running in that direction.
Batcave.
Get after him. Just
Yep. Martin with shotgun and revolver and lightning gun, not in hand, that last one. Yeah, I'm not going to risk. Oh, I tripped over a root that, like Captain Tyrell was freaking around the con, you know? But yeah, pursue. Martin's gonna take point on that. He's the soldier.
Okay.
and I'm running with crucifix and holy water. I mean, you know.
Okay.
And
I've
also,
got a lightning gun.
uh,
I've got a ray gun.
yeah, what do you mean by crucifix is the electro bazooka? No, but before Martin takes off, he is going to hand Frank one of the vials.
Okay.
Because that way, you know, Frank can pick up if he's being watched.
Okay.
While Martin does recon and force.
Okay, let me see if I can send you a picture. Okay. And I need to do this. And do that. And I'm going to open the image so people can actually see what it is. Because you arrive at that place.
Good job, because I had it in my head like it was more like Rickenback Falls. It was this big kind of...
No. You arrive to that place. You can see Ramon's jacket on the floor, but nothing else.
Take a look into the water. Did he go and dive for a hole or something?
You cannot see him anywhere around, so you can imagine that the only place to go is in the water.
Water's a good conductor of electricity, isn't it?
Oh, I'm going to presume
Let's fire
there's a cave or
bazooka
something.
down the water hole. See how if you can outrun it. Come in, give it a go.
Do you want me to do that?
Fry the water.
It's pretty finicky. Did Ramon leave by himself?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about his goons popping out of the woods, probably.
He's probably already got goons here.
I'm going in after him. And Martin basically strips down to pants and bayonet and lightning gun. This is such a stupid idea. But
That is an image I will not ever be able to get out of my head.
what? Jason Statham with no shirt on?
Scarred Jason Statham. Extremely badly scarred Jason Statham.
Yep.
With
No shirt on.
it's more the big bayonet and lightning gun that it's just freaking out as an image.
Oh.
And
But yeah.
as soon as you jump in the water and it electrocutes you anyway, that's going to be
That'll be fun, yeah.
yeah. But hey, we'll have fish to feed on for weeks, so it'll be fine.
That's also true.
So,
No, sorry.
what are you
Seriously.
Yeah, gonna dive in.
Okay. The rest of you, what are you going to do? This place, by the way, is about 5 or 6 kilometers away from town. So it's not. It's far enough that not everybody's here all the time, but close enough that you could come walking.
Interesting.
I'm not. Yeah. I don't think I want to dive in. For now, I'm going to wait and see what happens to Martin when he goes. If Martin doesn't reappear, then I will debate it.
Okay, Inspector.
Yep. I ditched my coat and my shoes. I'll still have my shirt and trousers on. Lightning gun in my belt, and I'm jumping in.
Okay. You both jump in, and you start to dive. This is surprisingly deeper than you would expect. You would expect something like this to be maybe 3 to 5 meters deep, but you keep going and going and going and going, and suddenly you are sucked. Air comes out of your lungs because it's such a sudden move. And you are completely propelled through what you don't know what it is, and come out very gently on the other side, completely and utterly dry. And you see, give me a second so I can find
I see.
the correct thing.
Paco, and what do I see watching from the side? Because presumably they've not gone that deep when they get.
You
So I
see,
must be something strange.
you see nothing at all. As in nothing at all.
Okay.
From the surface, you see nothing.
But I'll have seen their body enter the water. Does that body? Do they just seem to disappear? Is what I'm getting at.
How you mean?
Wait, they've dived into the water, yeah?
Yes.
And how deep do they? I can see through water, so I can see their body enter the water, and at some point that body then gets through to this other dimension. Do I see a disturbance in the water? Does it look like their body disappears really deep? In which case,
Yes.
I wouldn't think much of it.
No. It simply appears that it's disappearing very deeply. That's all. You just see them diving, and the water engulfs them. That's all you can see.
Okay. I'm still thinking.
And
Give me a second.
Martin
please.
is. Okay.
Okay, sorry. I was just trying to. I needed to reduce the size of the file because Discord couldn't handle it. The first thing you see as you open your eyes is it's not even that. It's a massive hall. It has to be about, pardon me, 50 meters wide by another 70 or 80 meters long and another 50 meters tall. It's like a cathedral.
You know, about as big as a Zeppelin.
Yes, and it is covered in capsules, some of them that are open,
And
all the way
ones-
to the ceiling.
Mhm. And what's in the ones that aren't open?
You can't see inside. It's like some sort of glass,
Okay.
but it's not.
Okay.
It's translucent but not transparent, so you can see
Insert
inside.
dramatic music.
If we were on Zoom, I could.
Mm.
But
We've just wandered into the Matrix.
At
And-
the end,
mhm.
there is a small door.
When you say small, are we talking human-sized
Yes.
or?
Yes.
Okay, so small compared to the gargantuan cavern warehouse, whatever the heck this is.
Correct.
Yep, and Martin is on bare feet with bayonet out, going to head in that direction toward the door, quietly and as stealthily as he can.
Okay. You're not making an awful lot of noise because the ground is like a sheet of what you suspect is metal,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of warm to the touch. And when you get halfway in, you get the overwhelming feeling of being watched.
Hello, Ramon.
Should we pop our tubes then?
Yep.
Yep.
That's what Martin's going to do.
Bottoms up.
Okay. You squash your violin, and Father, 2 minutes go by, 3 minutes go by. These people don't
So
come out.
I'd sent you a message, but you've not seen it. I was going to wait for 2 minutes on the grounds that if they hadn't surfaced by then. In my head, they found an underwater cave. They must be safe because, there's been no sudden eruption of bubbles. They can't drown, etc., etc. I'm praying, really, really praying, and then diving in after them.
Okay, the same thing happens to you. You go down, and when you're halfway there, Martin, you sense this overwhelming feeling, and Father Rodrigo appears behind you. Francisco Martinez, what are you doing?
Well, I'm with Martin, so we're approaching guns level and
You,
taking our...
you hear the priest appear from behind you. Again, Father, you're completely dry and seeing this structure that you have no idea, but it's been lit, and you can see a number of the boxes floating all over the place, but this time they're actually gently and slowly moving, and there are like 15 or 20 of them.
So I give him those, because I'm pointing towards the door.
And what happens when we down the?
So, whispering, what's in the boxes? He's going to release something from the boxes.
I don't know.
Well, we know what he's going to release, don't we? Do we think? Is that that's what's been in the boxes? When you say they're moving, Paco, do you mean just moving about, or do you mean like they're breathing?
No, I mean just moving about.
Okay.
And you mean the light boxes, right, Paco? Not
Correct. The light boxes.
Right.
It's the light boxes, and it's that. Whereas the one that you have doesn't seem to have any kind of momentum. This one seems to be driven by or moved or controlled by something that keep them moving about, so they can provide light to the whole thing.
Paco, quick question: what does this door actually look like?
It's just an opening.
It's an open. It's not actually. It's not like a. It's not a physical metal door, wooden door. Or
No.
like that.
It's just an opening. That's all.
Right,
When I say door, it is just a gateway.
Right. Okay. Can we see through it?
Yeah. And you see the photograph that I just sent you. Inside, there are several benches. Within those benches, there are some lights that flicker that you can't understand. This is like out of this world. And there are some of the guns which look even weirder on top of some of the benches.
Oh, that's very interesting, but we definitely need to find Ramon.
You can see there is another entrance to your right. This lab you are in at the moment is about 20 meters by 20 meters and about 3 or 5 meters tall. You can't really tell.
Gotcha.
And on the surface, it just they are like really strange. They are very hard, but they sort of feel soft at the same time. It's weird.
It's not the same velvety texture that we have on the guns, is it? Similar?
Exactly the same.
Ah, well, there you go then.
Same
Like, I'm going to make myself a dice roll just to help determine what I do. Something. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm feeling right now like, this is a culmination point. It goes. If there was anything normal about Ramon, it would go completely against everything I believe to harm him in any way.
Okay.
He is way beyond those considerations. So I will pick up one of the guns and start heading towards the door.
Okay.
It's not my place or anything, but I think I've just lost it.
Okay. Makes sense. You approach the door, and suddenly you are... let me send you another photograph.
You don't have to. It's fine. Just say it's a nice fluffy bunny.
And I'm going to open it for the viewers. You enter another room. This one is slightly dingier, a bit darker. And inside the room, there is a bench with some lit panels, very strangely lit panels with greenish light that flickers from time to time, and it shows some thing that you would expect it to be some sort of writing, but you cannot discern whether they are characters or what they are. And at the very end, at the very, very end, you see 3 tubes, like the ones that you can see in the image, but there are 3 of them. One of them is broken. Inside the other, you can see a very strange shape that you cannot discern what it is from this distance. You are about 15 meters away. This room is large. And the other one is open. And Ramon is coming out of it, looking very tired. And he leans on the desk that he has immediately in front of him. He leans like that and looks at you and says,
"Waste him."
So,
what did you do?
What do we do now?
Paco, 2 very quick questions.
Yeah.
Are there any other noises, like crackle, electrical noises?
You can hear something that is like hearing lavender.
Oh wow, we're getting that synesthesia.
My next really important question is there a smell?
Yeah, you do smell like an awful lot of shades of yellow, not just one.
Out comes the lightning gun.
As I say, I think I've gone past and beyond. I'm just firing at him.
Let's waste him.
You do that, okay. Roll your shooting, please. First, Father.
That's my armed, which is a D6.
Don't roll between one. Are you going to shoot the lighting gun that you just...
The one that I just picked up randomly.
Okay, try to roll over 3, please.
And Martin is not firing at Ramon. He's waiting for that thing to come boiling out of a corner or some point. He's covering.
Okay, and now roll your dexterity, please.
And that's how we lost Rodrigo.
So I've got to get below my dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think...
What is that?
That is a 3.
It's a 3. Okay, you do shoot at him. You do manage to get this gun. You shoot at him, And what I would like you to do is roll for me, because this is what's going to determine what happens. Can you roll a d20, please? And tell me the number. I guess I want to be the one rolling it.
I won't put it up to the camera again. It's a 7.
You hit him right, and he touches a button as he disintegrates in an absolute heap of pain and screaming and twisting.
I'm going to spend the rest of my life saying Hail Mary, aren't I?
Suddenly, though, all of you start to hear a very weird sound, and the lights become red.
Run.
Where?
Run.
How do we get out? But yes, absolutely, run. But how do we get out?
Yeah, back the way we came.
But we came from nowhere. How do we get out? There wasn't an exit. There wasn't an entrance. How do we get out? How do we get out?
Do we just run? Stop! We go back the way we came. I'm already on my toes.
We're running randomly, Paco. Look for a way out.
Roll me your dexterities, please.
Okie dokie.
And for the love of God, don't miss.
Oh, God, I made it. Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
3.
Okay.
Where's my character sheet?
Double check. Yeah. Got lousy dexterity, but I made it somehow.
Four. Made it.
You run like hell, get out of the 2 rooms. Roll again. Because you now have to run the 50 yards and you're barefoot.
That's a 7.
Okay.
9.
Francisco and Martin, you both see how Father Rodrigo trips over and kind of falls flat on his face.
Frank, run. I'm going to get him. Martin is constitutionally incapable of leaving anybody behind.
Whereas I am.
Okay.
I will attempt to scramble to my feet and obviously race out, but
The sound continues and is getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster.
Come on, Rodrigo.
Roll your dexterities again, please.
no.
We're so bloody lucky. Got an 8.
Okay. Francisco, Terry, you get to the wall of water that is holding itself. Are you going to
jump into it?
Okay.
Dive into it.
You jump into it.
Yeah.
Martin, you get further, and because I know what's going to happen, I'm going to give you one more roll. Roll your dexterity, please.
That's a 5.
With a dexterity of 9, that's not a good dice roll.
No.
It's a 16.
Martin, you stand up and manage to actually get a good grip of Father. You both begin to run, and about 5 meters away from the wall, Father tumbles again, and this time it's kind of hurt his foot, and you get this overwhelming feeling.
Paco, as I fall, seeing where the water is, I'm giving Martin a push. I'm trying to push him into the water.
Roll your strength, please, and see if you actually manage to give him a
Great. He did something heroic before I did.
So I have a strength of 7.
Yeah. Martin, you notice how Father, he stumbles, and as you are helping him stand up, he leans on the good foot he still has and gives you a mighty push that is just enough for your ass to enter the water, and as it touches the water, you get sucked in back without you being able to do anything at all.
He manages to say, Rodrigo!
Both of you emerge, and you are in the darkness of water, and all you can see is a massive, huge, bright light that leads you to the surface.
Yep, swim up, swim up.
You swim up, and as you get out, you see Eloisa like this, and the trees shaking like mad.
Get to the car.
What happened? What happened? What happened?
Run!
But run. What, did you hear that?
To the car! Run to the car now! Stop asking questions! Run!
You both.
And he
run.
is using, he's using his best sergeant get back to the trench sort of voice.
Okay, you both, the three of you, run to the car. What are you going to do?
I'm going to start the engine. I don't know if you want to grab the bazooka out the back just in case.
He's still got the lightning gun.
All right.
Jammed to the back of his belt. Like an idiot. It's probably going to explode and kill us all.
Do we give the father a minute? Kind of
No.
a moment?
Go.
Okay. That's it. I'll get the car.
Okay.
we'll go.
You turn the car around and drive about a kilometer. The trees clear, and you were up in the mountains. You know, the thing about this area of Spain is that it's very mountainous, and you can drive for 10 minutes and be lost in the mountains. This is quite literally the way it works. You clear the trees, come back to the road, and in front of you, you see a crater where Gibraltar used to be, and half of Algeciras completely obliterated.
God in heaven. But nothing behind us. Going boom.
No, it's in front of you that has gone boom.
That miserable son of a bitch.
By your calculations, about 50,000 people have lost their lives.
I'm so going to hell.
And this is where your adventure ends.
Oh, and I was going to have Martin go down there with some dynamite and just seal that damn thing up. But it probably wouldn't work. Just Martin looking horrified that, 50,000 people are now a glassy crater.
I'm going to haunt the shit out of you, though, Frank, for abandoning me like that.
The idea was to get to the car and bazooka the thingies as they came. I thought they'd released the cages of the dogs. The dogs were going to come out, and I was going to bazooka them.
You just really wanted to use that bazooka, is what it was.
I really wanted to use that bazooka.
You still have it. It's in the back
Well,
of the
now we can clear out the freaking post-apocalyptic ruins.
I mean, my initial idea when we were sat at the cafe is we'll annoy him, and as soon as he gets in his car and comes out his house, I'll bazooka the car.
But hang on, you've just realised what's happened. Yeah. I think that deserves a sand roll, and if you fail your sand roll, you go on a massive rampage
that
with bazooka.
That is true. I am up for that. Yes, roll your sanity rolls, all of you. Well, you know, Simon, you're dead. you were inside Gibraltar.
Oh, it's a 6.
Oh, it's an 8.
Oh.
You can live with it.
But my fingers are itchy.
You could just pretend you failed the sand roll and still go
bazooka. Then it's bazooka rampage, and Martin has to shoot you with the lightning gun to disintegrate you.
No, suddenly think it'd be a great idea to storm Berlin.
Why, look, it's the beer hall pooch.
So
No more.
that's it. Now you have to think about what are you going to do with the rest of your lives. Those of you who still have it, of course.
Yeah, not a lot.
No, Martin is going to do whatever he can to basically collapse the entrance to that thing. It is way too dangerous. He's not confident that he can
Oh,
blow the thing itself up, but
there
drop
is
a bunch of rocks down there.
there is no more entrance. If you dive down again, nothing happens.
Well, okay then. Quietly probably become an alcoholic and then be at least
I'll be
a
raving
little...
on street corners about alien invasion.
And when it's not too horrible, dragging Frank off. You need to sit down, my friend. It's and what is
Job
Eloise
at Area
do?
51.
I mean, the one positive that came out of this is Louise has just won a Pulitzer.
Well,
Or whatever. Did they have Pulitzers then? Whatever the equivalent would be in that period.
a few days later, Eloisa contacts both of you, Martin and from Pliska, and said, "Okay, hi. I think I better tell you what I found." So you see, after all this, Ramon disappeared. So I was able to, get into his house, and I might have kept one or two things from that place because Gabriela has disappeared as well, and his goons are all over the place. So the whole thing is gone, and goodness knows what's going to happen to his businesses. But I found his diary.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to know what happened? I don't think I can tell this story to anyone, to be honest, so I think I might as well play to you. But it seems that Ramon came to the Garganta del Capitan when he was a child, according to his diary, of course. And one of his friends threw his glasses into the water, and when Ramon went to retrieve them, he found this place that, by all intent and purpose, actually, I may be able to write a novel out of this. Okay, maybe not an article.
Fiction.
So sorry. Oh, sorry. Yes. And he found this base, suppose, and he spent an awful lot of time in it, and investigating what happened until he couldn't figure out anything else. And apparently, the creature is a creature that he could indeed control for a period of time, and he could project himself astrally. So that's how he was able to monitor everything, but he couldn't use any of the two machines for any long period of time. So he had to be careful when he did it, but that's how he did it and how he created his fortune. And
What did he figure out about the creatures
oh, they are
that
from
built it? The builders.
not much, only that they weren't from Earth, but they've been here for an incredibly long time, and they built the place. Apparently, Ramon didn't know it was inside Gibraltar. He never knew where this thing led. He thought it might be in the mountains or in another planet. He never really thought about where it would be located. But it seems that they belong to some creatures that were warring some other creatures that we don't know anything about millions of years ago. And that's where he found it. How the whole thing was so well preserved, we don't know, but evidently, they weren't from this earth.
Yay, space aliens! Frank's going, I knew it.
He's watching.
So wait,
he's
so what you're
Yeah.
saying is, what Frank is saying is, he's not saying it was aliens, but it was
No.
aliens.
Aliens.
and now she says I'm going to have to find another place to live because half of Algeciras is gone. La Línea de la Concepción is gone. Gibraltar is gone. It's left a massive crater that the Mediterranean has filled.
I don't know, Paco. You're bloody Spanish and your obsession with Gibraltar.
I know. I just
Well,
want
he doesn't have to be obsessed with it anymore.
No. Well, you see, okay, this is where I can explain what I was telling you. So the viewers know, this was inspired by a competition that Pelgrim Press ran a long time ago, in which Ken Hyde was going to write off the town's winner, the winner's town. And I thought, how would I go about destroying my town? And I thought, okay. And at the time, I was reading Shadows over Scotland from Cubicle 7, part of the Cthulhu Britannica. And Stuart Boone, who wrote it, was talking about, how the Migo and the Elder Thing were warring within the mountains of Scotland and how there were bases hidden. And I thought, okay, what about if there was a base hidden near the mountains? And I thought, the mountains, a bit boring. How about if it was hidden in Gibraltar? Because inside Gibraltar, there is a massive cave. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful place. It's amazing. There's a concert hall inside and everything. Very highly recommended. And I thought, what if those caves had never been found? And inside Gibraltar, because it is a geological marvel. Geologists are not entirely sure what the hell is Gibraltar doing there. It's a weird geological event. So I thought, what if those caves had never been found, and inside there was this Migo base that somebody could find by accident and use whatever was inside that base that was beautifully preserved because, Migo technology. And that's how the whole thing started. And that is what's been destroyed. So there, thanks to you, Amigo base that could have rendered incredible technology to humanity, gone.
Yeah, I've read Delta Green. I know how that works out. It's like, hey, check it out. We inscribed this simple equation on a board, and it crushed a man.
Yes. Well, that's under what Ramon's been doing since he was 12.
Well, it wasn't us that destroyed it. It was the physics of inertia and him falling forward on the button that destroyed it.
Well, no, he was very prepared to do the self-destruct thing. He just managed to do it. If he had failed his dexterity, then he wouldn't have done it, and you would have had a whole Migo base for you to explore and enjoy and do with it whatever the hell you wanted.
Maybe it's best they did get destroyed, because if the US government or anyone like that got hold of it, it would destroy the entire planet. So we've risked Gibraltar for the rest of the planet, and that's how I'm going to justify it in my head.
Yeah, that's going to be Martin's justification.
Yeah.
It's 50,000, and that's horrible.
But it could have been the entire planet.
Yep. And then when World War II eventually rolls around, he probably goes and joins anti-Spanish forces, because I just can't imagine somebody like Martin being a fascist.
Fair enough, indeed. So that's the adventure. What do you make of it?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I love that ending, except for Rodrigo dying, because I was going to do the heroic thing and pick him up and pitch him through the water, but then he pitched me through the water. What the heck, man?
I had momentum on my side.
Well, that's true.
And the thing is, that was a very, very fitting end for a priest who lost his faith. And it has never happened before. Either people have come out or haven't, but nobody has actually helped.
And now he gets to be a martyr and possibly sainted.
Well,
Wait. So it's a first time for that to happen?
yes.
You said?
It's the first time for somebody to push someone else out of the base. I mean, I've run this adventure like 15 times already. And more often than not, people do the crazy thing of attacking Ramon rather than talking to him. And Ramon does the self-destruct. I mean, he is completely obsessed with this place, either going to be mine or it's going to be nobody's. So unless you can...
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Correct. So unless you can somehow talk to him about it...
To be fair, Paco, you play him as such a dick. That's the first thing people want to do when they see him.
Pretty much.
And I have another confession to make. Ramon González Mota was a real person. And the place that I described where he lives is where the real person lived. However, he was an incredibly wealthy man, as in incredibly wealthy man with a heart of gold. He was a scary man that he was the landlord. He was the landlord of the place that my parents used as a shop when I was growing up. And he was already incredibly old when I was growing up. So we used to see Don Ramon, we used to call him, with these massive big ears and always wearing shades, coming out. And he would give us 5 pesetas or just say how we're doing and talk to us. And he was this kind of very scary person that everybody was really respectful of, but everyone adored. Everyone loved him. My mom speaks incredibly fondly of him, but I thought I need a villain, and he used to scare the shit out of me when he was a little boy. So I'm gonna turn him into the
Hey,
villain.
it works.
Yeah, but he was a seriously good man, which is incredible to say for a landlord, but he was.
So I got a question, since it's something happened that has never happened before.
Yes, you did not.
Did anyone
visit-
pee themselves?
No, but you never visited his house. Everybody breaks in to find out what's in there and see if they can find some clues when he leaves the place, which is when he would be watching you, and you would have another encounter with the Hound of Tyndalos, which you have avoided.
And thus, we missed another opportunity to use the electric bazooka.
Indeed.
Yeah. I think we were just a bit too scared.
You were playing
cautious.
very coy. You were playing very cautious. If you had been a little bit bolshier about how you approach things, and you have, maybe confronted some of the goons at some point, or broken into Ramon's house, you could have found out a lot of information a lot sooner.
But it was more of a kind of a game of chess. It was kind of steering him into a position where he became vulnerable rather than kind of directly attacking him, I think.
Correct.
But yeah, I think we were overcautious. I think we played too much Cthulhu in the past to think, oh, we'll just go at this like a gate.
You know what? I serious talk, I think we actually played the characters very much in character.
Absolutely, yes. That's why,
Martin, yeah.
That's why I didn't want to rush you, because your characters were doing the right thing and reacting in the right way, except the policeman, who was a bit like, "Oh, we just blow the whole place up." What the fuck?
See, when they said, when they said, we've got to deal with this guy, and I'm kind of thinking, well, there's no way we can go through the law courts with this one. It's just not going to stick.
No.
So the best way to deal with it is to eradicate the problem.
I mean,
it's like calling pest control.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole idea of the adventure is you know who the body is, but you cannot prove it, and when you find evidence, no one's going to believe you. So this is on you.
I mean, ironically,
the insurance thing.
Ironically, if you had done that, we would have eradicated the immediate threat. What we wouldn't have known is where the real threat lies, and who knows who else could have come along and ended up in that base and been corrupted in exactly the same way.
And that's the thing. That's why everybody wants to investigate, because getting rid of Ramon would be fairly easy. You go into the casino with a gun, bong, done.
Yeah.
But then
I can tell you what Martin's plan was for that. He was going to get on a roof across the street, and when Ramon went into his home, shoot him with the electric bazooka. Thanks a lot, Frank. Seriously, he was going to snipe him with the bazooka, knowing that he would probably go to prison.
And I would have paid good money to see that as well.
Let's play a game.
I considered all sorts of things, like kind of blowing up with a car bomb. The other thing was kind of poisoning his food at the casino.
You could have done so many things.
Could have just put some arsenic in his drink, as I was kind of.
But the thing is,
handing him a photo, dropped a pill in his glass, roofie him.
Something else that has not happened in the past at one point is that people have not found the Monasterio del Cuervo. I have played with people who come for Ramon so quickly, that Ramon immediately became cautious and they just went into the base. In which case, Lundgren would have found the base, and that would have been absolutely horrific.
Nazis armed with Migo technology. That would be bad.
No, not Nazis. Americans. The Americans would
That
have.
would be bad.
Even worse.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say worse, but definitely bad.
That would have been like slightly less bad than Nazis.
Not unless you pry it from my tentacled hands.
Well,
You realize that not all of us sound. I don't even sound like that.
That took a while, Mark.
I mean, if you want me to sound like that, I can sound like that, but I don't sound like that anymore. You know, what if I sound like this for a while, huh? What do you think of that? Bloody limey.
No, serves me right for watching Fox
wait,
News.
was that your British accent? Was that your British accent?
Well, one of them. I'm usually, to do a decent accent, I have to watch actors in a movie and just repeat their lines constantly, because my regular accents all by themselves are really not all that great. I mean, I could tell you a story about time I answered phone and talked to a woman in New Jersey for an hour, as she was convinced that I was from Georgia. That is Georgia in Eastern Europe, not the Georgia here in the United States. And that sucked, by the way, because I didn't realize I was doing the accent until about 2 minutes into the call. And then I realized that she was already trying to hook me up with her niece. Go figure.
Okay.
Very nice little old babushka calling in for Medicare help.
Okay.
And
Right.
I realized it would be embarrassing for both of us if I stopped. And I just told my boss, look, I was talking to somebody in the call center, and then the phone rang, and I forgot I still had my accent on. Please don't tag me for this. No, I was listening to the call. That was great. I was like, okay.
Good.
Yeah, the bit you need to learn, Mark, are regional English accents, because they're great.
Yeah. Those are
Yeah, once you've got Brummie, Scouse, and what else should you do? Geordie.
Oh, the Geordie's amazing.
But I can't do a Geordie accent. I can do most English accents.
What are you
Can't do
talking
Geordie
about?
accent. Saved my life.
Man, what are you going on about? Actually, my first actual English accent I learned from the worst possible source, which was imitating Craig Charles while I was watching Red Dwarf. And I don't even know what the hell his accent is.
Scouse.
Scouse.
Liverpool.
It's not the best.
Yeah, right. No, it's not. I'm
Rimmer?
myself.
What are you going on about, Rimmer?
Yeah, so I am going to cut out all these things because we don't want to get the haters to actually destroy you if they see you in the street.
Do you know what? I thought you'd done that. I thought you'd stopped it already.